Welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. So glad to have you with us tonight. Fred and I are having a traditional New Year's Day dinner, and that's beans or peas and collard greens and hog jowl and cornbread. I'm going to make corn fritters. A lot of people think of corn fritters as something that you add corn to. We think of corn fritters as fried cornbread, and we do that often, especially in the summer, because you don't want to turn on your oven. It makes the kitchen too hot. To us, corn fritters don't have a lot in them, a lot of extra stuff. We add little onions, you can add some pepper, but the whole purpose of them is to have cornbread without turning on your oven and to do it quickly. You can also make smaller amounts of corn fritters than you generally can if you're making a pan of cornbread in the oven. So pretty often when we have cornbread, this is the way we have it. So I'll just show you very quickly how we do it. This is 1 cup of self-rising cornmeal. This is 1 egg. And this is a cup of milk, but I won't use it all. A cup of buttermilk. We just mix that in until we get a batter. I don't want to say mashed potatoes. We're probably going for something a little thinner than mashed potatoes. More like a thick pancake batter. I know some folks like to actually put corn in these. I suppose you can if you want to, but when we say corn fritters, we mean cornbread fritters, and not something with corn or other vegetables. And then this is a half, whoops, I missed a piece, half of a small onion. And I have been known to add a little bit of chopped pepper to this, but generally I stick just with onions. Used almost the whole cup. So if you'll see, this is not as thick as biscuits and not quite as thick as if you were making cornbread in a pan. Now once I make it, make the batter. I let it sit for about 10 minutes or so, and it'll get a little bit of rise, and then we'll fry it. And I'll come back then. Okay, I have here my trusty Griswold skillet, and I have about a cup of oil in it. You can use oil, lard. I wouldn't use butter for this. I wouldn't use olive oil. This is sunflower oil. To test the heat, drop a little bit in. If it sizzles, it's ready. And that's sizzling, so it's ready. These are very simple. I have a 1/4 cup measure here. And it is important that you have your oil hot enough to sizzle. And I'm pouring in about a 1/4 cup. Now I'll go over very quickly the rules for frying. If you've seen my other videos, you know I do this pretty often. When you're frying anything, put it in your pan at a hot enough temperature, and then leave it alone until you see the bottom getting golden brown, and it will let go from the skillet, whatever skillet you're using. If you're using a Teflon, and I never use Teflon, but if you're using a Teflon pan, it'll let go before it's brown. So wait until it's brown. When you're frying breaded food, it's really, really, really important that you wait until you see the brown forming around the breading. That's the way you keep the breading on the food, is you start at a hot enough temperature, and then you wait until one side is browned before you turn it. So we're just about to get there. I always worry that you can't see. Let me get really close here just for a second. So you can see that this is beginning to brown on the bottom. So I'm going to turn it. Now these cook pretty quickly. That's another reason why we do this a lot in the summer. It's because not only do you not use the oven, you don't even use the top of the stove very long, because they cook this way so quickly. I'll back off a little now. Now the way you know they're done is just like with pancakes. As long as you see steam coming out of the middle of the fritter, you know that it's still liquidy inside. When it gets done, that steam will stop. Now you may not be able to see that on a video, but if you're making them yourself, you'll be able to tell. And I can still see a lot of steam coming right out of the middle of these. So I know they're not quite done. That's also another reason we make this batter fairly thin, is so that they'll cook all the way through without burning on the outside. Some people call these corn pancakes. We've just always called them, actually when I was growing up, we called them flitters instead of fritters. That was sort of the joke in our house. It was corn flitters. And I was a teenager before I knew that they were actually called fritters. Okay, we're still getting a little steam. We're going to turn that one over again. Drain them on a paper towel or whatever you use for draining fried food. That one. isn't browning evenly. Okay, I'll finish these up and come right back. Well, here we go. Cornbread fritters, corn flitters, corn fritters, whatever you call them in your house. Fried cornbread, cornbread pancakes. To us, these are corn fritters, and we love them. A quick and easy bread to go with almost anything you would have cornbread with. And these are so tasty. And I'm gonna let you see the inside. It's flaky and soft, but inside and outside so crunchy. Boy, I hope you try this. We're going to enjoy this for our New Year's dinner. Collard greens, beans, hog jowl. Good luck and good fortune in the new year. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. So glad to have you with us.